All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Chelsea, and I am the owner and founder of Cookeville Lifestyle Magazine. And today it's just my editor-in-chief, Andrew, and I chatting about all things magazine, behind the scenes, and also some of Andrew's day-to-day world and life, which is crazy chaos. So we'll get right into it. Andrew and I met because I used to be in the music industry.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we initially met,
Yeah, I
right?
think you met. I played with a band called Caleb and
Caleb and
Leanne,
Leanne.
and they were kind of trying to pursue a career in Nashville. And so Chelsea was kind of working in sort of a free consulting role to try to help them with their social media
Yes.
strategy and just with, kind of their path and what they were envisioning. And I met her through that. And then
I found
Chelsea,
out he was a writer.
yeah, and so Chelsea needed an article written on the artist Mary Lee Hall, and I said, well, why don't I write that article in exchange for a Caleb and Leanne ad?
Yep.
And so
I
that's
had
how
no
we
money at the time.
Yeah, and that's how we did it. And then the next edition, I wrote 7 articles, and
And
she
helped
had
me with the cover story.
yeah, it
Pretty
helped.
much wrote it, but
And in that one, she announced me as the editor in chief before she had even asked me because she said I was going to
Yep.
say yes. And from there, I was the editor in chief. And I think we're
Yes.
on 4 editions now together, or maybe 5. Maybe we've done 5 together.
That was the front froning, so that was 2. There's 9 issues, so we've done 7.
7 worked 7 together.
Can you
Wow,
believe it?
that's crazy.
Yes, I did name Andrew the editor-in-chief because I couldn't let him back out of not saying yes. So it was in print. He couldn't say no. But Andrew has made the magazine what it is today because in the beginning I was doing it all and I do not have a background as a writer. I was a publicist, so I wrote press releases, but it's very different than writing editorial features. And Andrew is a brilliant writer. He majored in journalism.
Yeah, I did interdisciplinary studies at Tennessee Tech. One of the first classes to do that, and actually, Jay Coote and I were both the same. That they're at the same time doing interdisciplinary studies.
Who I used to work with, Jay Coote.
Yeah, and but I did journalism and music. So basically, it's like a double minor that results in a bachelor's degree. So I studied upper division music and upper division English journalism.
And it's rare that people go to school for creative things and actually do those in real life, but Andrew does. He is a career musician and writer and creative.
Yeah, and it took a long time to get there. I was an insurance agent. I took 80 phone calls a day as a customer service agent for Everett Express right out of college during the recession, and then I was an insurance agent for 5.5 years. And then I became a HR morale officer for a marketing firm, and that company kind of started going downhill. And I did guitar lessons and started doing some freelance stuff. And then in early COVID, I got a job as a script and narrative writer for a company in Knoxville, a production company. And I moved to Knoxville, moved to Oak Ridge, wrote for them for a couple of years. And then that business dissolved. And at that point, I decided to be a freelance writer and musician. And now I do, from there, I do, per piece work for people. I do write for municipalities. I write for visitors bureaus, and I also do about 50 to 70 concerts a year.
Yeah.
So,
And he does solo acoustic guitar shows.
yeah,
He also plays with other artists as their
hmm
lead guitar player.
yeah,
And
sit
you
in with a
play
bunch of
more
people.
than just guitar. You play.
Guitar and mandolin, and I will get booked sometimes for one or the other, sometimes for both. This past summer, I did 3 mini tours with an artist named Tyler Edwards and did kind of an East Coast thing. And then I play locally with Caleb and Leanne, and then I will do some singer-songwriter gigs where I'm the artist. Like I've got one tomorrow night. But then a lot of the gigs I play will be for private events where I play acoustic guitar for a couple of hours
And don't let him fool you. He's a great singer too. I didn't even know he was a singer until like 6 months ago. And you were like, "Oh, I sing too." I'm like, "Really?" And then he played me some of his stuff, and he's really, really good.
Oh, thanks, Chelsea.
So, he does. He is starting. You're starting to do your solo gigs,
Yeah, I'm starting to do a
and
lot.
sing and all
Yeah, a
that.
lot more of those, and I've started giving lessons again. I'm doing only adults. I'm trying to help adults that are, 35 plus primarily, that maybe think they can't learn to play or that it's too late to learn to play. I'm trying to help with guitar and mandolin. I've got about 10 students a week right now doing
And
that.
you do
So
marketing for Glass Tangerine.
yes, I've been helping with their podcasts and their newsletters for a year and a half now, and help them with some of their operations and some of their kind of their big picture planning and forecasting. And then I live right above Soulcraft Coffee in Cookeville, so I'm literally on Broad Street. I'm within walking distance of most of the places that
He
I
is.
work.
You catch him on the west side any day of the week.
Yes, I'm the West Side Ghost.
You are.
Basically, I haunt it.
Pretty much drinking a lot of coffee.
A lot of coffee.
But Andrew is just so talented, and I feel like he now interviews everyone. I tell him this is what we're gonna do. We decide on it together a lot of the time, what is gonna go in the magazine. And he takes the ball and runs with it, and people feel so comfortable with you. I feel like most of the people, a lot of them that we talk to are like, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't want to like put any attention on myself, even though they do amazing things that need to be highlighted. And Andrew really makes them feel at ease and tells their story eloquently and would never, put something in there that they would feel uncomfortable with. And it's such a blessing to all these people and of course, to me.
Well, the absolute number one, there's two things that I love about doing this more than anything else. First off, it's working with you, Jamili, Emily, and Abby. Mm-hmm. Just, you've all become such great friends, and you're all wonderful, wonderful people and egoless people that we all, like, if it's a good idea, we're all going to accept that good idea. Yeah. If it's the exact opposite of what we've thought to that point, and it's a better idea, we're all for it.
Right.
And I love that, and I love the friendships that we've made. And then the second thing is, some of the most dear friendships I have in life now have come from interviews with this magazine. I've got to meet some of the most beautiful, incredible people, and I wouldn't have got to meet them in the intimate, detailed way that I have without this magazine and without the interview process. So I'm extremely grateful for the friendships that I've made and the ones that I continue to make through this role.
Yeah. Before you started writing, I felt like I knew everything about the people I was interviewing for this magazine. And now I have to ask you, hey, tell me again. I know why we feature them, but tell me every intricate detail of their story really quick. And when you spend time and you really sit through an hour-long interview, however long they last, you really get a grasp on who the person is. Yeah. And unlike anybody else can, unless they memorize the article.
And when you're writing it, you also connect with their story a lot more too. So as I'm writing the piece, I'm really, like, I'm internalizing their story. It's almost like a mnemonic device where you say the person's name in conversation with them multiple times to remember their name.
Right.
When you meet them, it's like that with these stories. By the time I get done writing it and then going back and editing it, a lot of times that story is kind of locked into my mind, especially ones that are just uniquely impactful.
Right. And there's a lot of those. I don't feel like people really understand how many incredible and unique people are here, and you really get to learn about them through the magazine. And what are some of like your favorite things you've written about for them?
That's actually really easy for me to think of. One of my favorite articles was on David and Lisa Urich, that own Plenty and Franklin Fixtures.
That was in the Most Influential People 2023 edition.
Yes, I wrote theirs as a love story because they're two of the most in-love people you'll ever meet, and they're just wonderful. I really loved Emma Crabtree's probably my best friend, and I loved writing about her and about her husband Seth.
Yes.
Two different features, one on each of them. And then I loved writing about Molly Brown this time. She's a dear friend who's like worked in the shadows and done so much for this community for decades. And to get to celebrate her was great. And I really loved writing about Mitchell White in this last one. His was really special. He's such a special, talented man. And him and his husband are just like the most incredible people and so kind. And to get to meet them and spend time with them and to share how beautiful a person he is and how many lives he's impacted positively through his incredible talent and his art was just really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love hearing who Andrew's favorite person is in each edition.
They're all,
he loves them all.
They are all fantastic. But like, one that I would definitely would say is Mark Wilson too.
Oh, I love him. I didn't know him before this edition, really. We knew why he should be an influential person, but we didn't know, I know Andrew did, know him as well. And he's just the most... His energy and incredible. He lights up a room.
He's incredible. And him and Melanie are just such a power couple. But everyone on this, I'm looking at the photos right now, and they're all, Buffy, Dr. Gurnt, Mark Burnett, Macy and Matt Collins, Jason and Sheila, Blair, Shan, the whole, Andrea Burkhart, like the whole, Becky Davidson, Buffy, the whole crew. It's just like,
it's hard to even remember all the people you've written about at this point.
But they're all incredible. They were all so pleasant. Their stories were all unique and engaging, and they all have, their lives are dedicated to this community or have been dedicated to this community for decades. Yeah. And it's incredible to get
a lot of selfless work.
Yes. A lot. I would say a majority of these people didn't even want to be in the magazine because they've never been celebrated. Mark is an athletic director who's been an athletic director for 20 years and worked in some of the most prestigious athletic departments in the country, and he's the last person to celebrate himself. And he's just an incredible, incredible man and a great friend. And I don't know, it's just been really nice to get to know these people, and really rewarding for the people that were my friends already that the community nominated to get to celebrate the stories that I've already known.
Right.
you know.
It is nice. We all have like different circles of friends outside of the magazine. So we kind of all know different people that should be in the magazine. And of course, we listen to the community and things like that to figure out who we should feature next. Somebody with an interesting story that's really selfless and does things solely for the community out of the goodness of their heart, really, is who we try to celebrate.
For sure. And Shan is the perfect example of that. I mean, Shan was an ideal candidate to be the cover of this magazine. She is a person of influence, but she's a person of influence through really hard work and through kindness.
Through a lot of hard work. And her story is incredible.
Incredible story. And her and Sam are an incredible couple, and what she's done through the Visitors Bureau and what she's done for tourism in the city is just incredible.
And she's just such a kind,
just amazing,
bright human. So, going on to another subject, Andrew, why don't you give us a day in the life of Andrew Buckner?
Okay. Well, tomorrow is the perfect day to look at if we're going to do a day in life. So I'm basically, if you've watched Gilmore Girls, I'm Kirk from Gilmore Girls. So if you walk into business, there's a chance I'm behind the counter or I'm there doing something. So tomorrow I will wake up. I have 3 podcasts to record for Glass Tangerine. Okay. I'll finish that probably around 1 o'clock. Then I have 3 guitar lessons tomorrow afternoon, individual ones to give. I'll finish the last one at 4:30 or 5. I'll immediately pack my guitar up and I'll drive to Sparta and play a 2-hour solo concert at a brewery in Sparta from 7 to 9. And then I will come home and crash. So that is a very good little snapshot into the chaos that kind of is my life.
Never the same day. Never. And he has so many different jobs. And I'm just thankful that one of them is the magazine.
I'm so grateful to get to be a part of it.
At this point, you can't leave.
No.
Like, it's basically your magazine.
We're tied to it. No. I don't want it. I don't want it. You keep it. No, I mean, but working with Chelsea has been so, I mean, I think Chelsea would agree. We're very good friends now. And there's just so much respect that I have for her. She's just such a good human being, and she's so egoless and kind. And I'm really grateful to work with you.
Is mutual for sure. And Andrew, tell everybody where to find you. Also, Andrew has music on Spotify, so please go stream it. Download it if you still download music, because that stuff really, it costs money to produce music. As somebody who used to be in the music industry, I'm going to go on my spiel. It costs a lot of money to record music, and people don't understand, and to market it and do all this stuff, and you rarely ever see a penny back.
Yeah.
So go download the music, go stream it, just put it on silent and put it on repeat on your phone while you're at work. Get those streams up. And it's acoustic music, but we're all hoping that you'll release non-acoustic music. Is that coming?
I would love to in the next year. I'd like to do something, maybe an EP that's got some vocals on it. That'd be fun. I'm working on writing some stuff and processing the last year, and just... You
have material.
Yeah, I have material. I definitely have material. So I'm excited about that, the prospect of that. But yeah, she's right. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's atbuckner21 is my name, or you can just look up Andrew Buckner and you'll find me. And then I'm on Spotify under my own name. I have a solo mandolin record from 2017. And then last year I did a solo acoustic guitar record that you can find on there. And they're called Coffee and a Good Book and Coffee and a Good Book Volume 2. So.
And you can hire him to give you guitar lessons. And also, if you have an event coming up and you need music or whatever, Andrew can play his guitar, and it's a very cool vibe that he brings to the party. So
thanks.
Anyways, love you, Andrew.
Love you too.
See you next time.
See ya.